here with our dear friends, our dear brother and sister, Angie and Chapin Bell, and we are honored to call you family. And our journey, our friendship has just grown. And what I love to share is that we all wear so many hats, but Chapin, what I love that you just shared is that we're just people, right? And this is who the entire world is. And that was just beautiful to have you share with us just prior. And it is, we're all the same as I don't know how many countless beautiful conversations we've had in the office or on Zoom together. And we continue to share this with the world, that there is no black, white, pink, yellow. There is no Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim. Our souls are the same. We are all the same. And so Angie and Chapin, this is the world.
Hello, world.
This is Angie and Chapin. And
how beautiful what Scott was just sharing, how you explained, because it's about humility. It's about staying in that place of humbleness, of knowing who we are and how we can serve one another. It's not being better than anybody else. It's being there for each other, for humanity.
Yeah, we're all we're all the same. One of my favorite sayings, it's actually I believe it's a Martin Luther King saying that says, I'm only going to look down on somebody when I'm reaching down to give them a hand to help them up. So I think that's who we should be as people. You know what I mean? It's just you said, how do you want to introduce us? Well, we're Angie and Chapin. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter.
You are that one that was so beautiful, because Dr. Martin Luther King's quotes have just resonated with us our whole lives, and now more so than ever than a time.
Absolutely.
Talk about his vision and humanity and unifying this world, which we're doing, and that's what I love about all the conversations we continuously have, is that it's why we're here. It's to make sure we are understanding that we are all the same. And like you said, to help someone else, to touch another soul, to inspire, to uplift, and just help someone else get through something maybe much worse than what someone else is going through, because we never know what someone's going through. And that simple act of kindness, like you just said, Chapin and Angie, is helping someone up, opening the door, smiling, or just asking how are you, but listening. And I want you to share the story how we met, and then how, as we say, holy shift, the dominoes have just kept connecting and falling over. So I want you to kind of share that journey with us.
Sure. Well, one thing I want to mention, I mean, again, as we all know that, we can change our words out in these, and we change them out. And the one that I always keep in here is blessed. And, so. Because we are. You know what I mean? And so we never want to forget that. So it's I can be at work or doing whatever it is, and you can be feeling down or feeling something. I can grab this, and it just helps kind of center me back, on what's important, and that blessed one it is. And as Angie and I's philosophy is we're blessed, so we should be able to share, with people. You know what I mean? And we can't change the world, but can we change one person's life? I mean, I think we can, and this kind of helps us think about that. And
it doesn't cost money to be kind.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I got one of the ones I have now is courage. It's courage through what's going on now. You know what I mean? And have the courage to be strong to get through this. This pandemic that's going on, so those are the kind of things that we just why we keep that in here and close to our hearts. And I've learned I've learned a lot of that from both of you, and you know, and
For sure.
and you know, and the things that you've taught us, and what the meaning of this is, and really what you've dedicated your life to. So, you know, you've been a blessing. Both of you've been a blessing to us for meeting. And I still remember that first day, and Angie wasn't there, but I remember coming home the first day I met you, and you know, we've been watching some of your other calls, and you talk about the hugs, and you know, I'd known you 5 seconds, and I felt that long before I got my first hug, and you know, so the energy was, you know, it's just we've been blessed with the energy, and you know, and I said you got to meet these people, and so it's just been awesome and a blessing ever since, you know, and then bringing Tree of Life into to us, that has enabled us to share too, you know, as you know, the kind of blessings that we did with Darlene at UMOM, and you know, we bought those sticks, and I wonder how many, you know, I believe that's got to change some young person's life there, you know, that's now you know, has these and wearing these, and is thinking about those things, and you know, I can't remember how many we got, how many we gave away, but
22.
22. That's right.
Oh, of course, no coincidences.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, oh my God, I don't want to interrupt because you're so, continue because it's so, I'm like, wow, I'm just feeling the love.
So yeah, no. So we're hoping that, you know, there's young person wearing that intention sticks and thinking about it and grabbing it as I do on a daily basis and say, gosh, I'm blessed, or give me the strength, or give me the, you know, the love, the faith, that, you know, so and so I look at that we met for a reason, and so I look at this, you know, tension stick as being part of that, and how that hopefully is changing lives. You know what I mean? And so many of our friends have these now, and they wear them every day, and so they're impacting their lives as well in a positive way, and you know, just kind of creates that energy and helps us refocus and helps us be strong, particularly in times like this.
Oh.
You know, so
Yeah.
Chapin, that was so beautiful. There's so much that you just shared that filled, I know, both Marla up, and wow. And you know, I'm not one to not have words. You know me, I could talk.
Oh, sure, I know, yeah.
and one, thank you for sharing your beautiful heart. And of course, we'll give Angie a chance to talk. But as Chapin, you and I know, and I know Angie and Marla know, Chapin and I, when we get together, we are the overhugger crybabies. That's just who our hearts and souls are. And that's what I love that about you and I, that, and of course, Angie and Marla, that we can share our hearts, our souls with the world, to let others know we are human, and we all go through challenges. We're all tested. As we know, the more good we do, sometimes the harder we're tested, but it'll never take us out of our beautiful path, like you just said, to help others, to touch all the beautiful friends in your lives that you've shared the intention stick with, and that beautiful bond that our spiritual family, truly, when we say, is growing around the world every day. It's incredible. And what I want to mention that maybe some people may not know about, and I'll have you, Angie, as well, touch a little bit about UMOM and the importance of that, and our beautiful sister Darlene, who you brought into our office to gift one to her, and this is, wow, changed her life, and now she's giving them to everyone. And when, you know, you said we got intention sticks for some people at UMOM, and you said 22, what that meant for someone that's watching is that there are certain amount of moms, with single moms, going through very difficult times, and UMOM is an incredible facility that brings these moms and these children in. It's a home for them. It's shelter, it's food, it's clothing, it's education, it's an education of how they can continue to move forward after. And I know you can touch base on that more, Angie, but those blessings you did for just, and it's not just, it's those 22 souls that we just started to reach, and what these beautiful moms, these beautiful women will continue to also do and teach their children of how to help others. So, wow, just every hair on my body is standing up, because Angie, can you share a little bit about you, Mom, and how you've helped them so much as well? Because, wow.
Yeah, well, and actually, I think that Chapin might be a little better because he was on the board of UMOM.
Oh, yes, yes.
So he's you know, although I am active in UMOM and do whatever I can to help and support, and we do as a family, he's really more at the heart of it. So he can really speak a little bit better to UMOM than I personally can. But I will say that for me, I think that this helps me stay pure of heart and reminds me to not be superficial or judgmental, and that's really kind of what this does for me. Like when somebody asks me to do something, it reminds me, okay, I have kindness in here. I need to always, you know, I need to live up to what I say and be true to my word. And even if I don't want to do something, I need to do it because I've made a promise to myself and to other people to be kind.
Wow. And Angie, that's amazing. And that really is the definition of intention, isn't it? Because intention is what we set our minds to. It's not a goal, right, or a wish, because those can be broken. But when you set your intention,
right,
it's that non-give up attitude, right? It's I am going to achieve this. I am going to be this. And
right.
And I feel that from you when you just share that. It's so powerful.
That is such a beautiful message, Angie, that because most people may be afraid to be their authentic self, right? To speak their truth, well, I can easily just blow that off. No one else will know, but guess what?
Right.
We know. And yeah, and the promise we make, right? Someone else knows. And that is exactly why we're doing these beautiful things each day. And I know that was so beautiful as well. It's to live a life of intention is living a meaningful and purposeful life.
Right.
And oh, that's so amazing.
So are those the words you have in your intention stick right now?
Right now I have kindness, peace, and
Is it health?
What?
grateful.
Grateful.
Oh, gratitude,
yes.
Yeah, gratitude, peace, and kindness. Those are the three I have in right now.
Wow.
Good.
It's funny, meaning not funny, meaning it was beautiful when you first shared that with me, and we shared a story that as we all do know, today we opened our eyes, right? Think about how many people didn't, or we have a roof, or we have a bed, or we can actually get out of bed. And when we all, and I'm talking about us collectively, just realize how blessed we are, as Chapin said, and how grateful we are to have so much. Not what else do we need, but it's just living that state of gratitude. And when we can just realize one or two things each day and how grateful or how blessed we are, wow, that's gratitude.
Absolutely. One of the things that made us think about these intention six for the people at UMOM is that homelessness can really impact your self-confidence as a person. You know what I mean? So you have somebody that's homeless, if it's a man or a woman or a child, it's that self-confidence that can be damaged. And we look at this, if it's something that, somebody's feeling that way and they can wear this around their neck, and they can have that courage and the faith and the, that hopefully that this will help somebody grab it and say, hey, I'm struggling, but I'm not self-confident, but I should be. I should be. And that's one of the good things too about you, Mom, is they teach that. They try to build their the residents' confidence back up because of what being homeless can create. And I think in our little gesture, this is hopefully one way for somebody to realize they can get their confidence back and feel that courage and be that be faithful and such too. So that's one of the things that we thought about when we thought about these and giving them to the people at UMO.
Yep.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And I'm gonna, if I may add to that, Chapin, that's so incredible that someone that, God forbid, is homeless and they were able to come into that beautiful shelter at UMOM. And sometimes someone that has been going through something so difficult, you can't all of a sudden say to them, you need to have faith and you're going to be great and you're going to get through this. And they're looking at maybe that person like, what are you talking about? And it's like you just said, to give that beautiful soul, that beautiful mom or that child or that adult, that little bit of hope, right? Sure. To know that a better day is coming and they're going to get through this and they're being surrounded by love and they are being supported and they are being fed and clothed and whatever that may be, because they are going to then have that faith, right? That trust we talked about.
Right.
And let them continue to move forward. And that's what brings us our happiness. That's what brings us our bliss. It's just that soul to soul connection we continuously experience. And it's just, wow.
Well, yeah, it does. It goes back to the self-esteem and giving somebody their self-confidence back, right? Because to make them understand truly why they are here and that they can overcome their circumstance, because we could teach children or adults the definition of the word happiness or the definition of the word kindness or blessed or any of these beautiful intentions, but just because we teach them the definition doesn't mean that they've become that.
Yep.
And so by giving them these tools and the tools that UMOM is able to provide for them gives them that opportunity to really understand their true self. And like you said, ground yourself, brings you back, right?
I love that.
Yeah, and that's, again, this, the tension stick to us, or to me anyway, is that it helps me keep that grounded. It's just like you're going through a day and you have a struggle, you have something, and I find myself just grabbing this all the time.
Yeah.
And as Angie said, kindness, we had a situation today that it helped somebody out. And anymore you have concerns about, well, what has this person been involved,
Who have they been exposed to?
And Angie was like, I got help. You know what I mean? And part of that is, again, thinking about helping us being grounded because, we're thinking about that.
100%. And, same here on my end. I was also faced with a challenge today of putting love out to someone else. And of course, set my intention before I had a conversation with that person, to have success, for them to put out the love to that person, to open their heart so they can receive that. Where I'm coming from was to embrace them with kindness, and that's the place it's coming from. And I think that's important to remember for us to set our intentions even before we go into that space,
sure.
Right? When you're faced with anything in life, whether we perceive it as good or bad, always great to set your intentions, to know what is it that I want to achieve right now? What is it that I need right now for me or that person, or for me or the people around me, my family, my community, the world? Because at large, we're all feeling each other's energy, and this harnesses that. right? And that's why this is so powerful, because the blessed and the kindness that you both are feeling in here, we all feel it. We're all
Sure.
feeling that energy because
Absolutely.
we're leaving our imprint in the universe. And that is all science, right?
Mhm.
That's so beautiful. And I know Marla, and to add to what Marla was just sharing, I knew she was going on to a sort of a difficult call to help a parent with a child. And it wasn't for me to be on that call, but before that call, I knew she was on it. I actually held that space for Marla, and I set my intention for Marla that the call should be as well, with courage and love and success, that this family gets the love or the inspiration or the kindness or help that's needed. And it was such a blessed call. Just as Angie, you said, I would like to help this person. We don't know that situation that person's going through, but as you, Chapin, were there also to support that. It's just those, it's so powerful when we're feeling and thinking the same thing. Even if we may not be there together, we're still all connected, and we are
Sure.
sending that. And that's what we also do to this world right now. You know, it's not just Marla and I and Angie and Chapin. This is for us collectively. This is for all of our brothers and sisters around the world to understand these feelings of blessed and kindness and peace and love and happiness and success and health. And this is why we're doing this. And same thing for all the moms and all the children. And this is, again, why we're here. Why, as you said, we've been given our gifts in this lifetime is to help another.
Yep.
And it goes back to Angie's gratitude. So when we can say thank you to everything we've been given, whether it's knowledge, abundance, a platform, making coffee, whatever that may be for that individual, and we realize that's for us to share with someone else,
Sure.
that's what fills us up. That's what brings us our happiness, our bliss. And it does become contagious, because you want more. I want to help. Just one more, just 100 more, another million more, 7 billion more. And I know our conversations never end, by the way, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
When Marla shared this with me, which I know we've shared with you before, and maybe someone watching this for the first time will understand, it's this beautiful ancient Greek proverb that says, a society grows great when old men plant trees in which they know the shade they will never sit in. Right?
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely.
We are the seeds. We are planting these trees for the children, the grandchildren, the great-great-grandchildren, to grow up living a life of intention. And as we have been so blessed, which I love, and that's Chapin and Angie, I know you know when someone asks Marla and I, how are we? Our answer is
Blessed. Yeah.
Because what's the other we're
Right.
blessed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what this is allowing an individual to understand, maybe for the first time, that why am I here, right? And who am I? And Angie, I love that you also said it's again seeing our authentic self. It's speaking our truth. It's nothing with judgment or ego, right? It's just looking at another person. And what you said today, how can I help? What can I do? Mm-hmm. Regardless of the simple or miraculous act, it's all miracles. And that's this message, just to let one person understand they can help one more person. And they do the same thing. That's what we get up each day for.
Yeah. And so often I think we get, caught up in our own worlds and our own stuff, and we forget. And this allows me to refocus and focus on what it is that my intentions and what I really need to be doing to help others.
I wish the world knew, more people knew how they need to help. You know what I mean? And people don't, I think people don't realize that they can help. You know what I mean? If it's even little gestures, if it's a smile, if it doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be writing a check for somebody. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, we'll go, you know, go down to you, Mom, and serve a meal. We'll, you know what I mean? We'll, you know, again, it's just, you hear the stories about how little gestures help a lot of people. They help a lot of people. And I think people need to realize that more. That's what helps, you know, helps us. And, you know, we run into people, if it's in an airport somewhere, I mean, haven't done that in a while, but, you know, if we're out to dinner or whatever it may be, and you see somebody with an intention stick, and I always feel I have a bond with that person. And you know, it's, you know, interesting to hear maybe the story that they have, if they're comfortable with sharing or whatnot, but it's, you know, there's more and more people that we see, and it's just, you know, you want to go talk to them. You want to say, tell us more, tell us what, you know what I mean? And
Exactly.
you know, so
You know, they understand.
Yes, that
right.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, it's interesting because we were sharing this with a friend who was in the military and was talking about being at war, and he wears an intention stick. And we said, imagine you're coming around the corner and you're faced with your enemy, and your enemy is wearing an intention stick.
Ooh.
Oh,
right. So powerful.
that's
you know,
powerful.
it is powerful. And I think that's part of the issue, that for thousands of years, that man has been seeking peace on this earth. And you'll find that they try to create peace within a church or within a community or even a country, but then it goes away, and then another one tries it, and it just hasn't happened because they can't find a common bond. They still see each other separate from one another. They let the ego get in the way, and they think, I'm better than you, I have more money than you, I have more power than you, whatever that may be. They think from the ego, and they see each other separate. But the thing is, we're not separate from one another. We need to see the beauty in each other, no matter where you are in life, whether you are wealthy with abundance or whether you're on the street. We all need to be there for one another. And you're exactly right, Chapin. It's I was also reading a story, and this man, he's a master, and his student came to see him, and he's packing boxes of books, and the student says, why are you packing the books? You could hire someone to do that. And he says, because the master does. Like, in other words, it doesn't matter where you are in life, we all help one another. Right? I don't care how high up you are on the ladder.
Right. No one is
better than another person.
You know, I whenever I start a conversation with somebody I don't know, I mean, the first question is for me is not, what do you do? You know, tell me who you are. You know what I mean? Because what they do doesn't matter. You know, and who they are is what matters. And more people in this world need to understand who people are as opposed to what people are. You know, you know what I mean? And so that's, I think, the energy, a lot of the energy that intention stick brings helps us think about that. You know what I mean? You know, again, it doesn't, you know, we have friends at all walks of life, and we love each one the same.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And because there's just another human being that you know, like you said, has all the energy in this world bringing together.
Yes. You know, when Da Vinci made David, and they asked him, how did you see such a beautiful sculpture? And he said, it was already in there. All I had to do was chip away at it. The beauty is already there. And that's what we have to open our eyes to see, that there's beauty in everyone.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
was one of the first stories I shared with Chapin and Angie, is that if we can look, we said we don't need to die or transition to go to heaven. It's all around us. It's everywhere we are. And I said, it's also within us all. And if we can stop saying, I don't like this about you or you or you, or I'm blaming you and I'm blaming you for my life. And sometimes we don't realize we're looking in a mirror, reflecting back the things we may not like about ourselves. So we have to see the goodness within everyone. It's there, as Marla just said with David and Da Vinci, is that we just have to push away all of the programming, all the ego, the fear, the politics, the religion, whatever that may be that's covering up that person's beautiful heart and soul, because I promise you it is there. And the ones that may be sort of acting out, those are the ones we have to send more love and kindness to, because again, we never know what someone's going through. Right. Because this is always like, oh, I can't believe they're acting that way. Well, and actually, this reminds me of a great story. So we're in California last summer, and we were on our way somewhere, and we were 3 or 4 lanes were merging into one lane, and welcome to California traffic. And I see about 6 cars behind me. I'm on the far right lane, and I see the guy pull out on the shoulder to pass everyone and cuts in like 6 cars ahead of me. And I reacted, which I normally don't, but I'm like, what is this jerk doing? And as I said that, I'm like, what just came out of my mouth? And Marla looks at me like, really? You just said that? And one, we don't know what just took place in that person's life. God forbid there was an emergency, someone passed, someone's at the hospital. So who are we to judge or understand what that so again, we just let it be, right? Everything.
More people need to practice empathy. You know what I mean? You know? So
yeah, no, completely. And I remember also there was one incident when we were in LA, and I'm not sure if this has happened to you. It was midnight, and we were leaving a friend's party, and we called for an Uber, and it was midnight. And 15 minutes later, the Uber cancels on us, and we're like, okay, all right. So we ordered another one, and we're just laughing, like, okay, it's all right. We'll just wait for another one. 15 minutes go by. The same thing happens again. It canceled on us, and we're like, okay.
So we're starting to laugh and giggle because we knew something better's coming.
We know something's coming. There's a reason, right?
Test patience, right? We could all be, what's going on? This is ridiculous. This is.
But I said to Scott, oh, this is going to be interesting. There's a reason why now 2 Ubers were canceled. Who do we need to wait for, right? Like, what's coming? And so the third one finally arrives, and we get into the car, and it was a beautiful, beautiful African-American woman. And we said to her, how are you? And she says, blessed. And we're like, that's why we have to wait.
Right. And we're like, we look at each other and smile, and we're like, of course, this is who needed to take us to our place. And we're talking, and she's telling Marla and I that, she's a single mom, and she's working 2 jobs, and she's driving Uber at night. And, she's so grateful for everything in their lives and what she has. And Marla and I are looking at each other like, oh my goodness, we need to give her an intention stick. So 30 minutes later, we know each other's life stories again, because, we're all open books.
Right.
And so we pull over to our place in California, and I said, 1 minute, I'll be right back. And I ran up to our place, and I grabbed an intention stick, and I came back down. I sat in the front seat with her, and I said, I know this will sound interesting, but this is a gift from Marla and I. And we read the 22 intentions, and we all held hands, and we did blessings, and we're all crying. But we knew that we were divinely guided. We knew this woman, this beautiful soul, needed that intention stick at that moment, and that we needed to be there for her, right? As you were for that person today, or Marla on the phone call with that parent today. And we're tested, and we never know what that test is going to bring. And we have to make sure we pass these tests, because Angie, as you said, it's easy to not do or follow up what we need to do and just blow it off. And I don't need to do that. I'm good. but you know what? That other person, you could save that person's life from that simple act of kindness. And
Yep,
this is,
absolutely.
wow, that's what we're doing. And oh my goodness, what else could we share?
I guess the last question I would have for you, even though we'll continue with our because I know there's so much more we're all going to be doing together. If someone right now is watching and they don't have an intention stick yet, or if someone needs to gift someone one, what would you suggest? Why do you think that they should get one for themselves? Do you have a thought on that?
Oh, I mean, for me, it's just the gratitude. I mean, just you know, the grounding of things that are important. I mean, to me, it's almost like again, it's almost like a little beacon of energy that helps me stay focused, helps me, you know, again, it's, you know, the guy passing you on the side of the road on the freeway, you know, those things happen, and I kind of grab this, and it you know, again, it helps me remember what's important in life.
And to be a better person, and to just to always remember that helping somebody doesn't mean, like you said before, writing a check. Or so if you're not a person of means or have money, you still can help somebody, whether it's helping somebody write a resume or helping somebody, driving somebody to a chemo appointment, or it doesn't take a lot to be kind and be helpful to not only your friends, but strangers too.
I mean, it's close to my heart. It helps my heart be strong, you know, and
it's so beautiful.
So beautiful.
So.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, those were both. Do you understand why we love you guys so much? Right?
Well,
And,
we love you guys.
Love you
So.
too.
oh my goodness,
So.
and
I'll
you
be
know,
up.
And I miss your hugs too.
Yeah, we're
I
looking
know,
forward to that.
I know that's, you know, Marla said, I don't know if I shared this with you, but Marla said the reason COVID came out was I had to stop hugging for a few months because
I know.
I hug everyone.
Yeah.
Did Marla share with you what came to her, what COVID actually means?
No.
No.
Got to hear this. So of course, you know, Marla, she'll download that message.
So if you research it or look up the definition of the word co, means together. Vid is a Latin word meaning to see. And 1 plus 9 is 10, and 1 plus the 0 is 1, which means together see one. Together see oneness.
Wow. Wow.
Right. There's no coincidences that, you know, as hard as it may seem what this world is experiencing together, and sometimes, like we say, it's hard to see it as a gift, which it is. And yes, because people are going through so much and losing jobs and losing lives, and it's horrific. But when we can look at this as a gift, because it's allowing people maybe for the first time in their lives to look for the answers from within, like
Sure.
we and
Right.
the external, like we've been programmed that everything out there is supposed to make us happy and it's not, or we need to be doing this and we shouldn't be. So it's allowing people to look inside themselves for the first time and find out who they are. Like
Sure.
I said earlier, their authentic self, and maybe now do what they really wanted to do in life. And this gift is bringing it to the next place in their lives, because they've been maybe programmed to think, oh, well, I have to wake up, have breakfast, go to work for decades, and I'm still not happy. And I still have all this, but I'm still not happy inside. And this message that we can share with someone to say, take that leap of faith, right? And do what you know in your heart is making someone else in a better place. That kindness, that just everything we're talking about. And that's that, right? That beautiful message. This is where it kind of came full circle, is that follow your heart. I love that, Chapin. and do those acts of kindness, Angie. And that's what will be a better world together for. And we're doing it. We're not talking about it. So I don't want the call to end, but I
Well,
can't wait
we
to
miss,
see you in person.
so
For
we
the-
miss you guys and love you guys, and thank you for the intentions. So
Oh,
We love you and thank you for being a part of our movement. Together we can make a difference.
and we are.
we will.
As
We will.
the journey is just beginning, and all of the which we haven't really shared yet with the world, but all the new one for all of the at-risk children around the world, right? This is why we're here. We're going to make sure
Mhm.
every one of these children will receive an intention sticker. And we're doing this together. This is about us all collectively, and especially in a time that's so needed. So as you know how we sign off, we love you, we love you, we love you. We're honored to call you our dear friends and brothers and sister. And as always, sending you both and your whole family blessings and intentions of gratitude, light, and love.
Well, we're blessed to have you in our life, so thank you.
You're so welcome.
Mwah.
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 All right.
Bye, guys. We'll see you
See
soon.
ya.
Bye.
All righty.
Blessed evening.
Thank you.
You
You
too.
too.